Hi guys, I'm Moon. In this tutorial, I will give you a brief introduction for triggering iFAction. It's both for ACT and Arpg. Okay, the first issue is how to create a trigger. There are three ways to create a trigger. The first one is you can change to trigger mode and then double click to create a trigger. Okay, the second one is you can draw an interaction block and then change to trigger mode and double click to create a trigger for the block. And the third one is to draw an interaction block in one interaction block and then change to trigger mode and double click to create a trigger for the inner block. Okay, then we go to issue number 2. Let me introduce the trigger to you. Okay, double click to open the trigger, and then you can double click to edit and choose a character or sprint for the trigger. Okay, let me choose Mile Village for the trigger. Okay, then you can focus on the name of the trigger. The trigger name, you can edit the name here, like give a NPC name to the trigger, like Mike. And then you can use the trigger name in show text or dialog. Just double click and click show dialog. And then you can click the show the trigger or actor's name here, and then just say hi. Okay, confirm, and then test. Okay, when you talk to him, the trigger name will show on top. Okay, then we back to the trigger page. Okay, then the trigger ID. The ID of trigger make them different when you use the same name to name them. Okay, let me copy some trigger, the same trigger, like what the trigger with the same name. Okay, the ID of the trigger is quite important when you use some special trigger content like action, set actor or trigger action. So you can find that the trigger part. Okay, when you choose the trigger here, then you can say about 3 Mac here. Okay, you can choose the correct one by through the trigger ID of mic. Okay, the 1, 2, and 3, and then we choose the 3 ID 3 1. Okay. Okay, the next part is trigger page. Okay, this part is the trigger pages. You can add many pages for one trigger. Okay, and the execution order or the rules of execution is the last run first. So you can change character or sprint for every page. Okay, let me change the last page to skeleton. Just find the sprint for skeleton. Okay, and then I confirm and run game. Okay, you can find now the trigger image or the trigger sprint is become the skeleton, now the Mile Village. Okay, so it's just because the trigger page the order of trigger page is the last run first. Okay. Okay, so the trigger page is quite useful. So you can use the trigger page to carry forward or push on the gate. Okay, let me make an example for you. Like delete some unuseful trigger, and then just double click to open the trigger. And I want to make 3 pages for this man, and choose the same sprint or character for that. Male village, and this one. Okay, male village. Okay, you can also copy and paste. Okay. Let me show you how to make that. Let's move to the page number 1. Let the man say, say hi. Can you talk to the skeleton? Okay, and then after that we will say hurry up. Okay, just copy that. Okay, and then after that, after you talk with the skeleton, he will say, okay, good job. I copy and paste that in the page number 3. Okay, good job. Okay, as I said just now, the execution order is the last page run first. So the page number 3 will run first. Okay, how to solve that and change the order of the page? So let me show you how to change that. You can focus on the appearing conditions. We can use that to make the make the trigger page appear or disappear. Okay, let me show you how to do that. We can choose a variable like variable number 1, and we choose on. So if we named this to switch 1. Okay. If switch 1 is on, then the page number 3 will work, and otherwise the page number 2 will work, and otherwise the page number 1 will work. So we also should give the page number 2 a switch, like switch 2. Okay, if the switch 2 is on, and page number 2 will work. Okay, then in the page number 1 we set it on. Okay, control variables, and we found switch 2 and then make it on. Okay, if the switch 2 is on, the page number 2 will run. Okay, and then we now this one is the skeleton. Okay, now after we talk to the skeleton will say, okay, we'll say hi. and the control word variables, the switch 1 will turn on. Okay, like we show the test. Okay, first we talk to the male village. Okay, his side. Can you talk to the skeleton? Okay, then we also talk to him. Hurry up, hurry up. Okay, then we talk with the skeleton. Okay, hi. And then we talk to the male village. Okay, they say good job. Okay. Okay, this is how to use the trigger page to carry forward to or push on the gate. Okay, you can also set more pages and different condition in the trigger or other triggers to push on the gate. Okay, that's all about the trigger page. In the next part, I will show you more about triggers. So that's all. Thank you.